have farmers, traders using the internet, using messaging, WhatsApp to sell their goods, and they can't do this when they're cut off. So you have businesses being, going bust, basically, and you also have real problems for freedom of expression, freedom of speech. You also have political scandals. You have governments that don't want the current situation to be heard. There are situations like the mass killings that I've just mentioned, where that news, they really try to stop human rights reporting. But also, there's national decency, which gets called up quite often, say after a terror attack. Just when people need that assistance the most, you need to contact loved ones, friends, family. But the government wants to keep its image clean, and something gets switched off, whether it's at the local level or the national level. And you need transparency, you need real-time monitoring to be able to detect these incidents.
Great. Dad, give us a bit more context about the Grindr question and the Kazakhstan experience and what we should be taking out of those two instances there.
Thank you, Nandira. I think if we look throughout history, governments have always tried to control information and communications technology. Just think back to the 16th century. What was the revolutionary technology of the 1500s? Gutenberg's printing press. And King Henry VIII in 1534 banned the import of any book into England that was printed on Gutenberg's press. Last century, Ceausescu in Romania bans the photocopier. The Soviets block radio broadcasts. So what you see from a human rights perspective is governmental attempts to control information and communication technology. Where do the questions come in? There are at least 3 new things we have to keep in mind. What's new? 1, the role of private sector and non-state actors in what we call expression suppression. It will look at things like hate speech, online harassment, particularly of female activists, company algorithms that determine the findability, the visibility of information that we see. So 1, the private sector. 2, data. Data is everywhere. It's related to point 1, but we're told that we can get the latest and greatest app. We can purchase it, but we don't purchase it with cash. We purchase it with our data. It reminds me of the legend of Faust, who sold his soul for earthly pleasures. We're told that there's a Faustian bargain 2.0. We too can get the earthly pleasures of coolness and convenience, if only, as we see in the example of Grindr, we surrender our innermost secrets. 3, economics. The economics of technology fundamentally shift the conversation around technology and human rights. The marginal cost of adopting technology in certain cases approaches 0. Think about a school textbook in certain circumstances. That's the upside. What's the downside? The marginal cost of surveillance also approaches 0.